In recent weeks, we've reported on multiple stories of police arresting students. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Jeff Skaversky. A majority of those arrests are school-related threats, and we wanted to know just how prevalent is this issue in our region. Detroit Now's Andres Gutierrez examined federal data for Metro Detroit in our report, Handcuffs in Hallways.
In the state of Michigan, there isn't a minimum age on when a child can get arrested and be prosecuted, meaning children as young as 5 can find themselves in front of a judge.
Most behavior that would fit the category of a juvenile offense doesn't actually require adjudication.
CBS News analyzed U.S. Department of Education data from 2017, the most recent year available. It shows hundreds of young children are arrested every year in elementary and middle schools across the country. During that time period, administrators called the cops on kids 1,100 times.
Once a child gets involved in the system, it's a very sticky affair.
At Assured Family Services in Detroit, their mission is to keep children in school by providing them with behavioral health support that they need to make law enforcement intervention unnecessary. Because although cuffing a child takes seconds, the repercussions can be everlasting.
The idea that I'm bad, that the things that I do are bad, potentially becomes internalized, by that child and becomes part of their self-identity.
We found that in our area, it's at middle schools where children are likely to have an encounter with police. There were 35 law enforcement referrals in 2017 at Lincoln Middle School in Warren, the highest amount in our analysis. Through a Freedom of Information request, we learned why, ranging from a probation violation to pot possession and even more serious offenses. In March of that year, a student brought a large steak knife to show off. The prosecutor's office charged them with possessing a weapon. A few months later, a staff member pressed charges when a student grabbed her hips. In both cases, the suspects were boys of color. The CBS data analysis reveals that black students are 5 times more likely to be arrested in school than their white classmates.
They are setting up policies and procedures to connect the school to prison pipeline. And one of the ways to do that is start beating down the psyche and beating down the self-worth and identity in schools.
There have been some studies showing that police officers in schools can prevent some crime and misbehavior, but there are far greater numbers of studies finding the opposite, that they either have no impact or in some cases can increase crime.
Professor Aaron Kupchik at the University of Delaware does research on school policing and punishment and discovered
the SROs who work with more low income and students of color who work in those jurisdictions, they define the threat as the students themselves, whereas the SROs who work in wealthier, whiter school areas define the threat as something external that can happen to these children.
In another part of our area, Dundee Middle School recorded 4 arrests. One of them, according to a police report, was of a student taking inappropriate pictures of another classmate. In 2020, a ProPublica report found that the juvenile justice system in Michigan lacks statewide coordination or authority. Insofar, the state can't even say how many children are in custody at any given time or what crimes they committed. At Brenda Scott Academy in Detroit, they recorded a single arrest and made 2 referrals to law enforcement in 2017.
If a child is in danger to him or herself or themselves or to another person, then we want to restrain a child and help them calm down. And once that happens, that kid should be out of the restraints.
CBS News' analysis shows that students with disabilities are 4 times more likely to be arrested than those without a disability.
Sometimes they could be functioning lower in terms of intellectual cognitive capacities, meaning the way they think about their world and how they engage in their world.
You can do that all you want. We don't want to hurt you. We just want you to walk with us, okay? Just walk with us. I got him.
Right now, the sheriff's office in Douglas County, Colorado, is fighting a lawsuit for allegedly violating the American with Disabilities Act by arresting this 11-year-old boy with autism after he allegedly poked a classmate with a pencil, resulting in a minor cut. The department wouldn't comment on the arrest, citing pending litigation.
And so this is not that police officers are bad or should never interact with children, but just that seeing police officers as the solution to our concerns about our children's safety is misplaced.
In July, the Michigan Task Force on Juvenile Justice Reform approved several recommendations that include expanding diversion opportunities for youth who are not a public safety risk, creating a statewide juvenile public defense system, and adopting data-driven tools to guide diversion, court, and detention decisions. Their steps, experts say, are heading in the right direction.
That we really try to provide the resources and opportunities for the longer term to, to have the best outcomes for the harm that has been caused to these children, no fault of their own.
In Southfield, I'm Andres Gutierrez.